my Sony ZV-E10 Mark I overheated during a live podcast. You guys, I'm being paid for this stuff. So I was like, okay, what can I do to stop the overheating? I went and got a fan, but how good is this fan? We're going to jump in and see if it helps with the cooling. Let's jump right in. All right, guys, welcome back. So this is what we got going on right now. So first, we are gonna have this one plugged in via USB-C, and we're going to USB-A, and we're gonna do it straight into the computer. So for this option here, it is only in 720p, and then I also have this cam link right here. I will hook this up. If I can get this in focus, that'd be nice. No, sick. I'm gonna hook that up in there, but here is how it actually looks. And right now it's been off, right? So we're at 24 degrees. Oh, it just dropped degrees Celsius there. And we have this hooked in with this going into the computer, right? Hey, yeah, it's not hooked in right now, but I'm going to do that. And then I have this is going to be hooked in straight into power there. And if you can see, I have this all open, right? Because it will get hot, but how hot? So this is open, obviously, and then we have this door open. But right now we are going to be at this to actually start, and I'm actually going to pull this off and just kind of, I guess, see how hot this actually gets. And I have the AC turned off, so FYI on that. So I'll just kind of keep that there. All right, cool. So I just have this on right now. It has been recording for 15 seconds, and I am in 720p, and I have this cord going into the USB-C, the option here, and this is kind of, I guess, kind of how it looks in 720p. All right, we just hit 10 right now, so let's go hit this fan that I have charging, and we're going to see how hot or cold this thing is after 10 minutes. Shit. All right, and as you can see, it is 73 degrees in here, and everything's good. Cool, let's put this guy on real quick. And we're gonna wait here a bit, and we're gonna see how hot that got. And it's not going to jump up anymore, and it is still recording. Yeah, my hand is not stable. All right, it just jumped up 1 degree in here, and it jumped up 1 degree on there. So now we're gonna turn this thing on to 2 and see what happens. So that's 1. If you can even hear that. Can't really hear that. That thing is so quiet, it's crazy. All right, so we're gonna have this on for 5 and see if it drops. If this drops right here. So actually cool. All right, so if we look, it has been only on for 5 minutes, and it jumped down to 27 degrees. All right, so all in all, this is what it's gonna actually look like. I was shooting in 30 frames per second at 60p, and then I did my exposure so it won't go, in and out, all that extra stuff, and I have it on auto. Here's how I actually went and did all these, right? So I did, these, and then I was like, okay, cool. This is how hot it is, and then how hot it was in the actual room. And then I would have it on for a full 10. Yeah, after that, as it's still on, right, I'll have on the fan for 5 on a speed of 2, because you have a speed, of course, of 1 and 2, and that is it. And then after that, I have it off for 10, and I also have the fan on, so it's gonna cool a lot faster. I did this because in some cases, if you are doing like something like this, or you're gonna shoot like an episode, you don't have hours and hours in between for it to actually cool off. So I would say, like, here is how I would actually do it and if it actually works. So I went in, and right here, this is going to be 720p, and then I did 1080p, and I do have it hooked up to the micro. You know, of course, it's coming out of the camera and it's going into the computer, and I have a Camlink capture card, and then it's going to, you know, go in. And then I also did 1080p internal, and then as well 4K internal. So right here with 720p, right now it was at 73 right here, and then I had it on for 10, right, and it actually spiked up a bit to the 88 degrees, which is crazy, right? And then we hop over here. I had the actual fan on for 5 at a speed of 2, and then it went down about 7 degrees. But at the same time, you guys, it was still on, right, as I had this fan on. So let's just do 10 plus the 5. So it was on for 15, right? So, and then of course I had it off, right? And I had the fan on it for 10, right? Cool. All right, so we're gonna hop over here to 1080p, and here's kind of what I actually had right here. So it's the exact same right here, and then we kind of come over here, and it was on for 10, right? So it did go up a bit for sure, guys. It went to 95, which is no joke right here. So I was like, okay, cool. And then of course after that I had on, and then I put on the actual fan, and it went down to 86. And like it's actually on right now on a speed of 1. So I do have to say, I'm sorry, I did not do the option for K streaming. I'm sorry. Here is how it looks for the 1080p internal. So I would say, like, it got hotter that as I was, you know, I was here, right? And so for the internal, I actually went in and I was like, okay, yeah, I got to do it for a little longer, because like how I was saying, I do certain things like right here, and I also do other stuff as well. So I was like, I'm going to do it for a little longer, right? So for right here, you guys, it went up to about the same thing as you're doing your 1080p streaming. So I was like, okay, cool, right? And then I was on it for about half an hour, and it hopped up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is crazy. So I was like it was hot, and I was like, yo. So, and then we added on the fan, right? And it came to 82. It helped out a lot. It went down 18, which is legit. All right, so we're gonna hop over to 4K internal. So it was 82 right here, and then it was this hot in the actual room. So it's the exact same as the 1080p. At 10, it went up to 104 on the actual fan, right? And I was like, guys, that's hot. And then I went to 25, and it went up to 109. So I was like, yo, this thing's no joke. I would say for me, I don't do things less than a half an hour. It's like, how hot will it get, and will it shut down? And then right here, I went for half an hour. It's supposed to say half an hour, but it actually went up to 111, and I was like, no, that is, guys, that is way too hot for a camera. So I would say it's crazy, because I have an iPhone 14, 15, and an iPhone 16, and they actually do not overheat on me, which is crazy. So right here, I had the fan on for a bit over 2, and you guys, it went down to 32 degrees, and then I had it on for 5, and it went down to 30. So I would say all in all, you should probably get something of the sort, because you guys, it is going to help out with the cooling, because these overheat. And especially if you are being paid for this kind of stuff, if you're doing long podcasts, oh my gosh, you guys, this is a must. And again, I had it all open. I have all the flaps open and all that extra stuff. So I would say, you guys, like, subscribe, and I will put these up on the screen. It's going to help you a little bit more with your content creation. Have a good day.